Hello students. Yesterday we were discussing the previously asked questions in board examination from the chapter electromagnetic induction, and today let's discuss rest of the questions from the paper. So only 2 or 3 papers we have discussed in one days. So I think now all the questions that we have discussed, and with that all topic we have summarized, and it's just like the revision also, because all the topics are important as it is asked in any one of the year, like if we are talking about Faraday law of electromagnetic induction, Lenz's law, mutual inductance, self inductance, and application like transformer, and number of numericals based on that. So let's solve us more numericals and more questions that are in your papers. So here this is the question paper of 2016, and here one question is given from this chapter, that is write the function of transformer and state its principle of working with the help of a diagram, mention various losses in this device. So this question I think this been asked near about 4 or 5 times in your examinations, means alternately seen that this is asked. It means that really it is important that what is the working of transformer, what is its construction, and on which principle it is working on, and how many types of losses any transformer is. Simple, we have discussed that in the case of transformers, the principle that is applicable there, that is mutual inductance, as we are using 2 coils there and a core material between them. So 2 coils, it means that whenever current will pass in one coil, then due to mutual inductance property, an EMF will be generated in the secondary coil. So this principle we are using in the case of output or in the case of transformer for the power production there. Next thing is that here various losses, voltage losses, that is or power loss that occurs here. So basically power loss that appears in the form of heat, and that is due to 4 factors like flux linkage. So as there is change in flux in the primary coil, and due to that there is change in flux in secondary. So in this process the flux link with the coil that is changing, and there is the some of the dissipating forces acting. So due to that some losses occur there. Secondary things, as we are using wires or coils, then obviously coil will have some of the resistance, and if we are carrying the voltage with the help of some of the wires, then that time also you know that due to resistance voltage draws there, and due to drop of voltage, obviously some of the power will be lost there. Third thing is that like in case of mutual inductance, there is the production of eddy currents, and due to that obviously to oppose them or to prevent the device from the eddy currents, some of the power or some of the voltage will be used there. So some power is lost to prevent the device from the eddy currents. Next factor is that the hysteresis loss. So as due to change in magnetic flux, the core start to receive some of the magnetization. So to magnetize the core, obviously some of the energy is utilized there. So basically you can say that due to magnetization or due to hysteresis loss, also some of the power loss is there. So basically 4 factors are responsible for the power loss in transformer. So always while designing any transformer, we try to prevent the transformer from all these factors, or even we can't prevent, then in that case we are trying to at least minimize that loss. So here these things we have discussed number of times. I think now that is clear. Next question is numerical problem based on transformer. So question is that the primary coil of an ideal step-up transformer has 100 turns, and transformation ratio is also 100. So here first thing is given, we have a step-up transformer and its primary coil has 100 turns. So NP is given, this is 100, and transformation ratio is given 100. So you know that transformation ratio that can be calculated by number of secondary to the number of primary, or voltage in secondary to the voltage of primary, or current in primary to the current in secondary. So with the help of this all factors we can calculate what is the transformation ratio, means how the voltage, current or power is transformed. We can calculate easily by this ratio. So it is given to us, this N is 100, it is given. Next, the input voltage and power are respectively 220 volt and 1100 watt. So input voltage, it means that primary voltage it is given, this is 220 volt, and primary power it is given 1100 watt. Then these things are given in our question. Then we have to calculate first number of turns in secondary. One by one, let's see the question and solve it. So first is the number of turns in secondary. So as we have to calculate NS, what will be the number of turns in secondary. So first thing, if you are just using the wrong formula, then for that case you can even understand if it is given there is a step up transformer, it means that number of secondary will be greater than the number of primary automatically if voltage has to be increased there. So it means that if we will calculate, then NS should be greater than NP here. Now let's use this formula. This first, as transformation ratio is given, this is 100. NS we have to calculate, NP is given 100 also. So from here we can calculate what is the number of secondary, number of turns in secondary, that is equal to 10, then 10 power 4. Clear? So obviously this is greater than number of primary, then our answer is right. Okay. Next question, second is that current in primary. So here two things are given. This is the first. Second question, we have to calculate what will be the current in the primary coil. So here voltage in primary coil and power in primary coil, that is given. So here with the help of that we can calculate what will be the current in primary. As you know that Vp into Ip, this will give you the power in primary. So just use it, then we can calculate what will be the current in primary. So from here, this upon this is Vp. So if we will solve it, then we can find out the value of Ip. This is equal to, as it is 1100 watt and Vp is given 220 volt. So from here, this value is 5 ampere that we will get here. Third question here is voltage across secondary. So we have to calculate what will be the value of Vs here. So again you can use this formula, N is equal to Vs upon Vp. So just use it. Value of N is 100 we have, value of Vs we have to calculate, value of Vp is given, that is 220 volt. So value of Vs, this will be basically 2.2 into 10 to the power 4 volt, you can write it. So obviously if there is a step up transformer, then voltage in secondary that should be greater than voltage in primary. So here we are seeing that the voltage is greater than primary, it means that our answer is right. So sometimes you can understand that you are using the correct formula or not by the concepts also. So just clear your concept and that will help you to solve numericals also. The next question is that here, fourth, current in secondary. Just erase that first. So next fourth is current in secondary. So again we can use this concept here. So current in secondary, for that we have transformation ratio, that is 100, and current in primary just we have calculated, that is 5 ampere. Then for that we can calculate what will be the current in secondary, that is 5 by 100, or you can write 1 upon 20 ohm. Clear? So this is the current in secondary. You can solve it by yourself. Next, last is power in secondary. So we have to calculate with them, that is what will be the power in secondary coil. So basically power in secondary coil, that can be written as voltage in secondary coil into current in secondary coil. So as voltage in secondary coil we have calculated, that is 2.2 into 10 to the power 4 into current in secondary coil, that is 1 by 20. So if you will solve it, then it will be obtained 1.1 into 10 to the power 3. This is, or you can write it, that will be 1100 watt. So power in secondary, that is also equal to the power in primary here. Now you can calculate what will be the value of efficiency if it is asked in question also, or percent efficiency. So efficiency can be calculated by output power to the input power, and percent efficiency can be calculated output power to the input power into 100. Clear? So you can calculate it yourself. So our next question is we have just that is related to the self inductance. So it is given that a solenoid of 500 tons on an iron core of relative permeability, that is 800. So first of all, let's write the things. After that we will discuss. I will read whole of the question. So here it is given that we have a solenoid that has 500 tons and that is wounded on an iron core that has relative permeability 800. So number of tons in solenoid, that is equal to 500, it is given, and relative permeability, that is UR, it is given 800. Next, the length and radius of the solenoid are 40 cm and 3 cm respectively. So length of the solenoid, that is given 40 cm, or if you will just split, then you will get 0.4 meter here. And also the radius of solenoid, that is given 3 cm, and we can write 0.03 meter to it. Okay. Next, it is given calculate the average EMF induced in the solenoid if the current in it changes from 0 to 3 ampere in 0.4 seconds. So we have to calculate what will be the value of induced EMF in the solenoid if there is change in current in 0.4 second, that is given to us. So here if you will see change in current, then this is given 0 to 3 ampere, it means that minus 0 we have 3 ampere change in current in time from 0 to 0.4 seconds. So obviously this will be equal to 0.4 second. So these data that is given in our question, and now we have to find out what will be the value of induced EMF in the case of solenoid. So as for this I just want to tell you one formula to calculate it. So one more thing here, it is given relative permeability. So you know that permeability of different material, that is different, means to induce electromagnetic induction or to produce magnetic field, means the capacity to produce or contain magnetic field, that is its permeability. So that can be different in different types of materials. So if whenever we will change the material of solenoid, then that time obviously its permeability will change. So normally we cannot take always mu 0. Mu 0 will be taken only in the case of air core. So it means that somewhere if it is not given, then which types of material we are taking in solenoid, then that time it is obviously we are taking their air core for the calculation. So that's why you have taken mu 0 into consideration. But whenever it is mentioned that somewhere the material is mentioned and relative permeability, this concept is mentioned, then you have to use the permeability of the particular that core or that material. So first of all, to calculate EMF, we know that EMF is given by L di by dt. So to calculate EMF, we have to calculate first of all what is the value of self-inductance here. And you know that self-inductance, this is given by phi upon I, means the flux generated in the system and the current just flowed into it. So with the help of that we can calculate, and the value of phi is here 3a, and also you know that here the angle between area, surface area and magnetic field, that is 90 degree in case of solenoid. So here directly I'm not taking that thing. So actually not 90 degree, that will be 0. So that's why here cos 0 will be 1. So we can take here BA, and this is upon BI. Now we know that in the case of solenoid, what is the magnetic field? Its value at center we have calculated already. So its value is given by mu n I. And also here n is number of turns per unit length. Then you can write in place of this number of turns per unit length. Area of solenoid, that will be equal to pi r square, and upon I we have. So just cancel out it, then we will get finally this thing. And one more thing, whenever there are n number of turns in solenoid, then this theory is that n pi is directly proportional to I, and if you will just solve it, then proportionality constant, that is equal to self inductance. So here just multiply n here, just multiply n here, clear? And in place of mu, you can write mu r, mu 0, because you know that relative permeability, that is defined as permeability of the layer to the permeability in the free space, clear, or air core. So with the help of that you can just find out it. As in place of this there will be mu or mu 0. Here this will be n square, I will be cancelled out. This is pi r square upon L. So this is the formula to calculate self-inductance of the coil in the case of solenoid, and this formula is very important. Sometimes it is asked in questions to derive this formula, or to derive the formula for the self-inductance or mutual inductance in any solenoid. So for mutual inductance we have just seen that case already, but the self-inductance case I have just told you with the help of this numerical also. So I think now that is clear. We can use this formula to calculate the self-inductance, and after that all the values we have, value of di, value of dt we have, if we will put, then we can calculate what will be the value of induced EMF in the case of solenoid. So just solve it. So here this L, this is value of mu r, it is given 800. Value of mu 0, know that this is clear, and value of n, it is given 500. So just erase it first. This is 500 into 500 we have. Value of pi, just take it, this. Value of r square, r is given 0.03, so we can take it 0.03 into 0.03. So this is the whole value that is given to us upon L. Then value of, here we can write also capital L. Here L is 0.4 meter. Now just solve all these things, then you can find out easily what will be the self-inductance. So after solution, the self-inductance we will find that will be equal to 1.77 Henry. You can calculate it. And now if we have calculated what is the value of L, then we can calculate what is the induced EMF in the case of solenoid. So that is L di by dt, and the value of L we have, that is 1.77 into value of di, that is 3, value of dt, that is 0.4 second, and after calculation it is obtained 13.275 volt. So this is our answer. This is the induced EMF that is generated in the coil of the solenoid. So next question is that the self-inductance of an air core solenoid is 4.5 millihenry. If its core is replaced by iron core, then its self-inductance becomes 1.8 Henry. Then find out the relative permeability of iron. Clear? So here the question that is related to also the formula that I have written before. So here the question is that if we have, first of all, in case of solenoid we have any A core, then the self inductance is 4.8 millihenry it is given. So this is L of air, and if the core is replaced by iron, then in that case this self inductance becomes 1.8 Henry. So obviously from this numerical you can also see that self inductance depends on the different kinds of material also. So we have to find out what will be the relative permeability of iron. So as we have discussed that what is the self inductance in case of solenoid. So this is given by the formula, that is mu r mu 0 n square pi r square upon L. Clear? So this formula we have, and let's write it for air. Then for air we know that the relative permeability, that is equal to 1. So if its value is 1, then this formula will be mu 0 n square pi r square upon L we have. Next, if we can write it for iron. So for the case of iron, suppose it is mu r mu 0, as it is, just write it pi r square by L. As it is given that only we are changing the material, we are not changing the radius, we are not changing a length of the solenoid, we are not changing any kinds of number of turns in that. So obviously all these things will be constant in this. Only we are changing material, then definitely there will be change in relative permeability there. Now just divide these two equations. So divide this by this. So we can get, or you can take this one also, L iron of L air. So this is, all of the things will be cancelled out. This is equal to mu r. This thing we have to calculate it. So value of mu r, that will be equal to L of iron, that is given 1.8, L of air, that is given 4.8 into 10 to the power minus 3. Now if you will solve it, then you can find out its value will be 375. So this is the relative permeability of the iron. With the help of the case of solenoid and with the comparison, we can find out easily what will be the relative permeability. Next question is here, that is related to the case of mutual inductance. So question is that the current flowing in first coil changes from 2 ampere to 10 ampere in 0.4 second. So just write it first. So it is given that we have two coil. As I am talking about the mutual inductance case, then definitely we will have two coil here. So in first coil, if the current is changing from 2 ampere to 10 ampere, then first of all let's write, suppose that in coil 1 current is I1, then dI1, this is equal to change in current, that is 10 minus 2 ampere to 10 ampere. It means that 8 ampere current that will be changed here, and the time is given, that is 0.4 second. This is first case that is given to us. Next it is given, find the mutual inductance between two coils if an EMF of 10 EMF of 10 millivolt is induced in the second coil. So it means that due to change in current in first coil and induced EMF that is produced in second coil, obviously this is the concept of mutual inductance, and that is given, this is equal to 10 millivolt. So this is E2 is given to us, that is equal to 10 millivolt. It means that this will be value here. Next, here this is given, also determine the induced EMF in the second coil if the current in the first coil changes from 4 ampere to 16 ampere in 0.03 second. So first of all let's calculate the first case that is given to us. The change in current is this, and in this time, and the induced EMF is this. Then what will be the value of mutual inductance there? So as mutual inductance, this is given by di1 by dt. Simple. Induced EMF in second coil, that is directly proportional to rate of change of current in primary coil. Or if we are just passing current through the secondary coil, then induced EMF in first coil, that will be directly proportional to rate of change of current in secondary coil. So with the help of that, we can calculate what will be the value of mutual inductance. So simple, if this concept you have, suppose there is induced EMF in second coil, obviously that will be equal to induced this rate of change of current in primary coil. So there will be di1, and if we will solve it, then proportionality constant will be here. So this is 2:1, it means that induced EMF in second coil due to first coil, and this is di1 of dt. And with the help of that, you can write this formula here. And we have all the values. Value of E, that is equal to 10 into 10 to the power minus 3 we have. Value of di, that we have 8. Value of dt, it is given 0.4 second. So this will be 0.4. Now we can solve easily it. Just multiply 10 here, and after that we will get here 5 into 10 to the power minus 4. This will be the mutual inductance in this case. So you can just easily solve it, and you can find out this value here. And second question in this, it is given to us, that is, if in second coil the current if in current in the first coil, that it changes from 4 ampere to 16 ampere in 0.03 second. So second case is that the current is changing in first coil from 4 ampere to 16 ampere. Then let's say what will be the change in current. So this will be 16 minus 4, that is 12 ampere current is changing, and the time is given here, that is 0.03 second. Then we have to calculate what will be the value of induced EMF. So again, we as we know that the mutual inductance, that is constant for that particular material, it means that we can use this mutual inductance to calculate what will be the value of induced EMF in secondary coil. So here, this is the formula to calculate induced EMF in secondary coil. So obviously this E2, that will be equal to, just so this is equal to M21, and the value of M21 we have, that is 5 into 10 to the power minus 4, and value of di, that we have 12, value of dt, that we have 0.03, or we can write 3 into 10 to the power minus 2, and if you will take off, then this will be 10 power 2. Now we can easily solve it, and we will get 20 into 10 to the power minus 2, or simple, if you will solve it, then we can find out 0.2 volt. This will be the induced EMF in the secondary coil. This is equal to 0.02 volt. Clear? So this is the value that we will get in the secondary coil. So obviously, with the help of concepts, with the help of formula, if you remind that, then you can calculate easily the numerical problems that is given to you. Always I am telling you, first of all, summarize all data that is given to you. After that, you will be able to understand which of the formula that you have to apply here, because to calculate mutual inductance we have number of formula, to calculate induced EMF we have number of formula. So which of the formula we have to apply, that can be understood easily by the help of the data that is given, means what is given and what we have to calculate and what is the formula that we can apply there. You can understand easily if you will summarize it. Always I am saying that the single thing, that first of all just categorize all data, after that you will be able to solve it. So students, number of things that we have discussed today, and I think now that is clear about electromagnetic induction, and every question that is asked in board examination we have discussed here. And I think within that discussion we have discussed whole of the chapter, because theoretical questions were there, derivative questions were there, and also numerical questions that are asked there. We have just discussed all these things. So if all the things are clear, then just end the class here. In next class we will discuss the previously asked question in board examination from the chapter alternating current. So let's discuss in next class. Today let's end it here. Thank you, students.